Hey guys, it's the Dutchman's Master and welcome to episode number 2 of Let's Build a Fancy Restaurant in The Sims 4 Dine Out. So today I'm back in The Sims 4 and we're going to continue working on the restaurant. I was really happy to find out that all of you liked the first episode. There was some really great feedback, some constructive feedback as well, and just very many good comments. I also read some comments regarding Dine Out or the Dine Out game pack, which was fun. I felt like there were some mixed opinions about it. Some people found it worth the $20, others didn't. I personally think it's pretty cool. I can imagine that if you're really have to think very properly about whether you should buy a certain game pack or not, then you might consider twice whether you should get it, because there aren't insanely many items with it. There are some really cool items with it, but for $20 it might not be enough. But you know, as I'm a YouTuber which relates to The Sims, of course I will get all the game packs and stuff packs whether they're good or not. So in case you think, oh, he's so rich he doesn't even have to think whether he has to get the stuff for the game packs, well, you know, I make Sims videos, so it's kind of important that I do have the packs. But I must say that I personally think this is pretty cool, especially if you also like gameplay, because it seems like that restaurant feature is really cool to play with. But about the build, because in the end it's all about the restaurant which we're building in this series and not about the game pack in particular. So as you can see, I've immediately started building all kinds of stuff over here. I felt like the shape wasn't exactly what I wanted to go for. The concept was the same, but I decided to change a lot, and in the end you'll really see, well, not a totally new building, because you'll definitely be able to recognize parts, but I've also changed parts again based on your feedback and also based on some new insight which I got from looking at the build again, because of course today I simply opened my game again and then I realized it's not exactly what I call like insanely good yet. I mean, if you create videos like these, I feel like you should build something special and something which is simply really good. So therefore I do my best to make this really good, but I felt like it wasn't really that good yet, so I changed a lot. But I'm really curious to hear about your feedback or hear about your opinions, because of course that's what matters most, your opinions, because in the end you'll be able to put this house or this restaurant, into your game and play with it and make it an actual 5-star restaurant, because I've made sure that it has all the capacities and all the build knowledge, well, not the build knowledge, but the building necessities to make it a 5-star restaurant. But in the end your waiters and your chefs will have to make sure that it actually is a 5-star restaurant. But I think the building will in the end really be cool. So it looks totally different from what it looked like at the end of part number 1. As you can see, I've deleted the roof because I felt like it wasn't that modern and it was kind of strange, and it added to that unpersonal feel that's what I felt like. And I read several comments saying that the roof wasn't that nice. Maybe if you did really like the roof, I'm sorry, I decided to delete that. But I think it's a little bit more modern right now. But in the end you'll also see that I'm really going towards the industrial vibe, which I think really fits restaurants, because nowadays many restaurants, or at least here in the Netherlands, very many restaurants tend to go to that more industrial, well, not particularly hipster, still kind of hipster, but at the same time being fancy, but still kind of casual and still kind of expensive, I guess, and luxurious, which is what this restaurant is going to be. So that's kind of the style I went for. In case you didn't see it yet, I've also uploaded the Italian Around the World speed build, in which I build an Italian restaurant, which is really cool in my opinion. It's totally different from this one. It's more traditional, obviously, as it's a stereotypical Italian build, but I was really proud over it. I just think it turned out really cool. So check out the first link or some link in the description, because that will bring you to that speed build. Like I said, it's an Around the World speed build, which means that I've come back with the Around the World speed build again. Recently I've not uploaded too many of them, but I'm planning on just doing a little restaurant edition for the upcoming week/months. Depends on how many concepts I've got, and also I'd really like to get your feedback regarding other restaurants from other countries which I could build. But anyways, here at the front you see that I'm kind of making this yeah, floating thing over here, which I felt like would be a really cool patio, which it did. It would actually make it really cool, but it doesn't really look that good, so I decided to delete it. Also because it didn't look that realistic, so yeah, I decided to remove that. It was kind of too strange, so I went for more of a realistic look. And yeah, still the shutters are the same at the end of this episode, even though you'll see that I'm changing the colors of the shutters a lot throughout all these shots, or throughout the entire video, simply because I wasn't really sure about it. I tested white, I tested black, I tested blue, I tested gray, and now in the end I realized that yeah, the brown is pretty cool. I also saw some comments, or very many comments, saying that you like the brown, so I decided to leave it the way it is. And as you can see now, you get a good overview of what I changed exactly, and that's that I've yeah, kind of extended that shutter part to the left, making the entrance stand out a little bit less, but making it more one entire piece, which I felt like would fit better. Also, those pillars at the right will be removed later on, so kind of a lot is changed. Well, many changes many things I built in the first episode have been changed now, but still the concept is the same. But yeah, I hope you like it. I thought it was better at the end of this episode, but of course opinions can be different, so if you don't like it that much, please let me know as well. Please stay kinda calm, because sometimes you get comments which are like that I literally have to laugh at my phone whenever I read the comments, because I'm like, you know, it's still The Sims. I mean, it's not that important, and then some people really comment as if I've just changed their lives because I changed like one color in the Let's Build house. But I mean, it's not gonna make that much of a difference in your life, so don't worry about it. But you know, letting me know whether you like it or not is pretty important as well, because in the end that will make sure that it is something which most of you like. And of course not everyone will like it in the end, but it's just important that I personally like it, to keep myself motivated to make these videos and just to have fun for myself, because that's in the end like the key factor in making these videos, and also making sure that most of the viewers like it. So yeah, I think the industrial vibe is pretty cool, and definitely for the interior, man, I'm really looking forward on doing the interior for this build. And yeah, funny enough, I also saw one comment saying it really cool what you did here, but it would have been cooler if you also did the interior. And I'm like, this dude is probably new to my channel, because he didn't realize that this was not like a total speed build. I can imagine that because it's sped up, you kind of feel like it's a speed build, but it's still a Let's Build, which is divided over several parts, which means that the interior will be built in like 2-3 episodes, and then obviously in the end the entire restaurant will have an interior. So don't worry about it, but I kind of had to laugh about it. So yeah, here I'm also adding these waterfall things, which I thought was kind of special, kind of different. So I just, you know, added those. I felt like, you know, in the end this restaurant is really private if you look at it from like the outside, because there's not that many ways to look in from the outside, but there are very many ways to look out from the inside, because you can look through shutters, but looking from a distance through shutters makes that you don't see anything except for shutters. The same counts, or the same concept is actually true for the waterfall thingies, which I've just added. Those water walls, I guess I'll call them, throughout this series. Yeah, I never actually used them, but they seem to look pretty cool on this build, so I just decided to add them because I felt, you know, awesome. Then in that way I'm using very many different items which I've not used before. Then I was struggling with the colors again, trying to get it right, but then yeah, it was kind of hard, because yeah, color combinations are the things I struggle most with, because they're so important and everything looks good in my opinion. I just really like the look of very many things. Here you see me changing it to white again, which is not the end result, but which looked pretty cool as well, but it's nevertheless decided to change it because it wasn't that special. And here I'm adding the wall paintings, the new paintings which come with this game pack, which I really like. Which I really like because I mean, they're realistic, they're industrial, still you can use them on a modern house, which is exactly what I'm doing here, even though it's a restaurant, not a house. But yeah, I just really like those, so I'm happy that I added them. There's two types of wallpapers or wall paintings. I just have to figure out what the exact difference is, because I honestly don't know. I just added a random one because I've not actually started putting all the wallpapers or wall paintings on there yet, because I felt like, I've not finished the entire shape yet, but still I wanted to know whether the color combination I was going for would work out, and it seems like it really does, because it really fits the industrial restaurant vibe. So that's what I like, because that's what I'm going for. I like a fancy, modern, industrial restaurant, which is going to be really cool. So any feedback, like I said, would be awesome. I also got some cool feedback about adding 2-story pools in there to, which you can have windows around and which are not functional, just because it would look cool, and I kind of like that idea. Maybe I can do that. I'll see whether it fits and whether it fits the style, but it might be pretty cool. I like that idea. It's definitely creative. So something like that might be coming up. And then here you see me making kind of a patio, because I felt like the build started to be a little bit too big, which is often what you've got to look out for when you're building, because if something is too big, it's not beautiful. So I decided to add that patio on the right, because in that way it would be a little bit smaller, I felt like. And also I thought it would be really cool to have a rooftop bar kind of area, so that's what I added. And I'm just changing some things here. Also, I'll in a second be starting to bring through all the brown over there as well, or all the shutters, part of the shutters actually, which should be pretty cool. And here you get kind of a nice overview of the general restaurant, because I'm adding the signs here. Just added some random modern sign, which I felt like would fit it, and maybe I will change that later on. Also, I'm adding these side signs, and from this moment on I really felt like this was actually a restaurant, because those signs are so cool, and I really like how you can customize them. So yeah, I did that, and that's really cool, because you can actually really make it exactly the way you want it, and to customize one particular item without only changing the color, but also changing the structure and the shape and the letters on it, which is not possible in very many items in The Sims 4 yet. So if they would make that possible for more items, it would be pretty cool, but I believe I talked about that in a different video already as well. So here you see me doing some magic with those shutters. I hope it will work out in the end, but I think it will. I'll just have to figure out how. But I felt like I could use some extra brown on that side, and that seems to be pretty cool in the end. So this is the way I did it, just putting half of it through the roof, or through the floor, and then attaching it to the other side, and in that way you got one structure sort of. But anyways, that was the second episode of this Let's Build. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did enjoy recording this. I hope you liked the progress we made. We definitely made a lot of progress. So yeah, thanks for watching this. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to check out part number 3 and part number 1 if you've not seen it yet. Probably by now, if you're watching part 2 and you've not seen part 1 yet, you realize that you kinda messed up things. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and then I hope to see you back later.